Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we re-diving into something that sounds like it is straight out of a disaster movie. The ground at Yellowstone is rising. What does that even mean? Is the supervolcano about to blow? Let's break it down and separate the facts from the Hollywood fiction. First off, yes, it's true. The ground at Yellowstone National Park is constantly moving. It breathes. Scientists have been tracking this for decades, and they've measured the ground rising and falling, sometimes by several inches a year. Imagine the entire park, an area bigger than some states, gently inhaling and exhaling. This process is called ground deformation or uplift. So what's causing this geological deep breathing exercise? It all comes down to what's lurking beneath the surface. Yellowstone sits on top of a massive magma chamber, a giant reservoir of molten and semi-molten rock. Think of it like a huge underground hot water bottle, but instead of water, it's filled with magma, superheated water and volcanic gases, all under immense pressure. Now, this magma chamber isn't just sitting there quietly. It's a dynamic system. Magma is always on the move deep within the Earth's crust. Sometimes a new batch of molten rock gets injected into the chamber from even deeper below. When this happens, it's like adding more air to an already full balloon. The chamber swells, and this expansion pushes the ground above it upwards. That's uplift. But that's not the only thing causing the ground to rise. Remember all that superheated water and gas I mentioned? This is what fuels Yellowstone's famous geysers and hot springs. Changes in this hydrothermal system can also cause the ground to bulge. Think of it like a complex plumbing network. If there's a blockage or a surge of pressure in the pipes, the ground can swell up in response. Sometimes this hydrothermal activity can cause much more rapid and localized uplift than the slow movement of magma. So when you hear that the ground at Yellowstone is rising, it's basically a sign that something is happening in the plumbing down below. It could be new magma entering the system, or it could be the movement of hot water and gases. Scientists use incredibly precise instruments like GPS stations and satellite radar to monitor these changes down to the millimeter. It's like giving the volcano a constant checkup. This brings us to the big question. Does uplift mean an eruption is imminent? The short answer is not necessarily, and this is the most important part to understand. Uplift is normal for Yellowstone. The ground has been rising and falling for thousands of years without any catastrophic eruption. Think of it like this. Just because you hear your stomach rumble, it doesn't mean you're about to have a major medical emergency. It's just a sign that your digestive system is active. In the same way, uplift is a sign that the volcanic system is active, but it's not a direct warning of an impending eruption. In fact, the ground also sinks. This is called subsidence. It can happen when the magma in the chamber cools and contracts, or when the pressure in the hydrothermal system decreases. Yellowstone has gone through long periods of both uplift and subsidence. For example, from the 1920s to the 1980s, the Yellowstone caldera rose significantly. Then, for about a decade, it started to sink. Then it started rising again. It's a constant cycle. So what would scientists actually look for as a sign of a potential eruption? It wouldn't be just uplift alone. They'd be looking for a specific combination of signals happening all at once, and at a much more dramatic rate than anything we've ever seen. First, the uplift would have to be much faster and much greater than the normal background levels. We're not talking about a few inches over a year. We're talking about feet over a matter of weeks or months. This would indicate a large volume of magma moving very quickly towards the surface. Second, this rapid uplift would be accompanied by intense earthquake swarms. Yellowstone already has thousands of small earthquakes every year, which is totally normal. But before an eruption, we'd expect to see the frequency and magnitude of these quakes skyrocket. The quakes would also get progressively shallower, tracking the magma as it forces its way up through the rock. Third, there would be massive changes in the hydrothermal system. We'd likely see new geysers and steam vents appearing, or existing ones erupting more violently and erratically. The temperature and chemical composition of the gases being released would also change dramatically, indicating that fresh magma is near the surface. The key takeaway is that a super eruption wouldn't happen without a whole lot of warning. The volcano would basically scream for weeks or months before it did anything truly catastrophic. The Yellowstone Volcano Observatory, a partnership between the U.S. Geological Survey and other institutions, monitors the park 24/7. They have an arsenal of scientific tools to detect all these signs. If there was even a remote possibility of an eruption, there would be a clear public warning system in place. So, the next time you see a headline saying, "Yellowstone is bulging," or "The ground is rising," take a deep breath. Remember that this is a normal part of the volcano's life cycle. It's a fascinating sign of the incredible geological forces at work beneath our feet. But it's not a doomsday clock. It's just Yellowstone being Yellowstone. It's a living, breathing volcano, and monitoring its breath is how we keep ourselves safe. Thanks so much for watching and for wanting to understand the science behind the headlines. It's way more interesting and a lot less scary than the myths. If you found this helpful, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.